Yo, 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 what is up, my guys?
Hey, we live, baby. What's going on, man?
Man, we just hanging in, we hanging on tonight. Got us a special guest on here, Mr. Coach Top Flight, aka Bug on the Twitter world. A lot of people on Twitter know this guy. I've linked up with this guy on Twitter Spaces. We've been in there talking some trash, everything else. If you would just go ahead and introduce yourself, my man. Let the people know where you're from and what you're about.
All right, what up, Brandon? What up, Corey? Appreciate y'all having me. As you said, Coach Top. A lot of people know me as Bug, but yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas. Played at the great Dallas Skyline. One of the best teams ever come through Dallas. Coach Samples, Emmett Jones. So, I'm glad you guys, have me on here, and I'm excited to talk some ball and see what y'all got, for those picks later on.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Corey, how you doing tonight, my man?
Man, I'm doing excellent, bro. We got our second game tomorrow against Dell City in Dell City. So I'll be in the Oklahoma City area tomorrow coaching the Booker T. Washington Hornets
Uh-oh.
here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So excited about that.
Heck yeah.
Football season's in full effect, man. We almost here, week 1, baby. So let's hop into it, bro. This is the House Divided. I'm Corey Hilliard. We got Coach Top with us, my boy B Hill. If you've been here before, you know what it is. If it's your first time, Mikasa Sukasa, B Hill, hit them with the house rules, and let's jump this thing off, man.
Guys, it's real simple. Just do 4 things for us. Drop down there, hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you guys can be up to date on all our newest and latest content. As well, if you guys like what you're seeing, you like what you're hearing, smash that thumbs up button. That helps with the algorithm, gets our content out there to where more people are going to be able to see us. Last but not least, guys, we always want to hear from y'all. Drop down there in those comments. I don't give a damn if it's good, bad, right, wrong, and different. Just holler at us. Also, too, guys, we are stuck right now on 89 subscribers. We trying to grow this channel out here, guys. Tap the subscribe button. If you guys are even just watching it, just hit that thing. I promise you we're going to be bringing you a lot of content, especially with football season starting. So, Corey, let's go ahead. Let's kind of talk to him. You said something about samples. You had Emmett Jones, things like that. So I'm assuming both those guys coached you in high school.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Dallas Skyline my freshman year. I believe that was
Okay.
Coach Sample's second year, third year at Skyline. So, yeah, kind of built up a resume. And yeah, man, Coach Jones, man, he was a young up and coming wide receiver coach. Ended up
That's
being the
awesome.
OC, I think, my sophomore year. So yeah, man, a lot of legacy behind those two guys.
What?
Those are some well-known names down here in the South, bro.
Oh yeah, they call
Yeah,
Samples the Godfather, man.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. What with Coach Jones, man, kind of you know, because we got some Sooner fans and everything that watch this channel. So, what is his background? What's he like as a coach, as like a player development guy, as like a play calling guy, things like that? How is he in those areas?
Well, I'd even say just going back to his playing days. A lot of people might not know or may know, but Coach Jones was a quarterback back in the day, and
Okay,
anything about quarterbacks, man, they like to put up points, and that's how he was as a play caller, as a coach. Like his whole idea and philosophy was, man, our job is to score points, and everybody needs to know how to do that and what it needs to look like. So, I mean, whether it be in the weight room and Coach Jones just lifting with the guys as y'all see, man, he looked like Superman, but he put in the work for sure. Like he's one of those guys. He has no problems, meeting the guys in the room and lifting and just being there and being present. Also, man, from a development standpoint, I would say he's a technician, man. My 4 years in high school, I believe we had three wide receivers that were Under Armour All Americans. We had Mike Davis, who was in the top 10 at Texas in receptions and touchdowns. We had a guy by the name of Rashad Samples, Coach Samples' son. He had a pretty good college career. He coaches now at Arizona State. And we had another guy by the name of Thomas Johnson, who played at A&M and was a top 3 or 4 receiver in the country. So whatever Coach Jones is doing at practice, he definitely has a way with it because it worked on the high school level. It's worked in college, and I guarantee you, as OU fans, you'll see it work out this year.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, so let's jump into this first week. B Hill kind of cut out. He just texted and said he'll be back on.
Uh
So me
oh.
and you on wrap.
Yes,
He'll
sir.
be back on shortly. So let's talk about this first matchup. And it's actually a Sunday night game. We got the number 5 LSU Tigers against the number 8 Florida State Seminoles. Kind of give me your thoughts on that. You know, do you remember the game from last year and how it played out?
Man, do I?
You know what I
First
mean?
of all, I just wanna say-
Florida State run a toss on something on the goal line. There he is. He's back.
Yeah.
My
They
fault.
ran
My
that
fault.
toss on the goal line, and then they fumbled. LSU took it something like 90-something yards, and then missed the game tying extra point or something like that.
Yeah, man, it was a barn burner.
Yeah. So what do you think? Thoughts? You got any players you know on either one of the teams, and then how you think it's going to play out?
Actually, just hopping into spaces, Twitter spaces, I met a really cool guy, Deshae Milburn. He trains the running back for LSU by the name of Josh Williams. He's from Houston. I think he's a senior this year. He'll definitely be, if not the starting back in the 2 deep. So I'm pulling for LSU. Actually, I can't say that because I have a player on Florida State too as well, from Dallas South Oak Cliff area. A linebacker by the name of Dylan Brown Turner. He's a freshman linebacker for Florida State. So yeah, I got a little connection to both teams. I'm expecting a good game. Jordan Travis, Florida State's quarterback. Of course, he's dynamic, and then they just brought in the transfer receiver Keon Coleman from Michigan State. You know, Johnny Wilson, 6'7". I'm expecting a lot of points on both sides.
Florida State, man, they're one of those teams this year that kind of everybody's looking at as like could take that next step. You know what I mean? They're going into what is this the coach's 3rd year, if I'm not mistaken, over there?
Yeah, Mike Norvell, 3rd or 4th year.
So this is 3rd year, 4th year, whatever it is. That's usually the make or break year. That's when you kind of have all your players in there. I mean, just remembering going up against this team for the Sooners last year in that Cheez-It Bowl, man, I know it wasn't a big contested game or anything else like that, but Florida State, that quarterback Jordan Travis, man, that dude's a baller. Yeah. He's gonna be. He's kind of one of those guys I think's gonna kind of slept on in the Heisman Trophy candidacy too, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, he's definitely one of those type of guys to where I think that's what he's gonna have to do for Florida State to be able to overtake Clemson in the ACC. Because let's just call it what it is. The ACC has been owned by Clemson in the last 10, 15 years. Let's just be honest. They've been owning that thing, and nobody has really competed with them over there. I think for them to be better, Jordan Travis has to be a Heisman Trophy candidate this year for Florida State. I think he will, and I think that they're going to go in there. This is a Camping World kickoff. Where's this dang thing at? It's in Orlando, Florida, right? Yeah. I think I got them beating LSU week 1.
Oh.
I got them pulling up there. I just got more faith in the Florida State quarterback than I do the LSU quarterback. And I know he had a good year last year, everything else. But if you had to tell me I got a game on the line, this is for my life, give me Jordan Travis any day.
Yeah.
Any day. So that's where I'm kind of at there. Corey, did you give your pick already?
Nah, look, I'm going to go with LSU. I just think defensively they're going to be better than they were last year. I think Daniel's a quarterback for LSU, 2nd year in that system under Brian Kelly. I think he's going to be much more polished. You're going to see him make quicker reads, better throws than he did last year. I think Brian Kelly's a hell of a coach, man. I mean, the dude took Notre Dame to a couple of CFPs. I think his 2nd, 3rd year in Notre Dame, they played Alabama in the national championship. And that's what Notre Dame recruits. You know what I mean? So he's getting different type of players at LSU. And at LSU, bro, they win a national title with a new coach, right? They won one with Orgeron. They won one with Les Miles. They won one with Nick Saban. The talent's always there, and you're going to see a marked improvement, in my opinion, in Brian Kelly's 2nd year at LSU. So I think they start the season off right. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game by no means. It'll be a 4-quarter game. It'll come down late. I got more trust in Brian Kelly and his coach in Ackerman against Norvell. So I would lean towards the Tigers.
No arguments here, man. I mean, that's a pick that people are probably going to get at me about. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you really going to pick Florida State over LSU? And it's like, you know what? I am. I really am. So that's what I did. Everything else. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about this other game. You got Florida and you got Utah. The Gators, they're unranked. Utah's sitting there at number 14. The defending Pac-12 champion Utah Utes, by the way, They got
Mhm.
Cameron Rising coming back. They lost to Dalton Kincaid, though, at tight end. I think that's absolutely going to hurt them. I really do, because that was like arguably the best tight end in this year's NFL draft, and that dude's going to be a baller for the Buffalo Bills. How do you see this game going, Coach?
Man, well, first off, got to start with my guy Jaquindon Jackson at Utah, former Duncanville quarterback, former Longhorn quarterback, and also Cam Rising. They were actually in the same quarterback room. But I believe the news came out Rising isn't playing, so they'll go
He's
with Bryce
not.
Barnes. I think he's a second or third string guy. He played in the bowl game last year versus Penn State, but then also on the Florida side, I got my guy Prince Will Human did a space with him this off season, which was really interesting. Actually, the day he announced that he was switching to jersey number 1, so I'm looking forward to him having a big game this senior year. You know, he's looking to improve his draft stock, so I'm hoping for good games from both those guys. I think with Utah not having a quarterback, being down to the third string,
That's
Florida
going to
being able to
hurt.
run the ball, I think Florida's going to be able to pull this one out this year.
That's I'm right there. I'm
Mm.
repeating that sentiment there. I think Florida is going to beat Utah. Is this at Utah as well? It
It's
is.
Yep,
at
it's
That's
at
gonna
Utah.
Utah.
that's gonna be a tough thing. I think if they had Cameron Rising, I would say no doubt Utah's
Right,
gonna win this football game.
exactly.
But I'm repeating what you're saying there. I'm gonna agree. I think Florida does win this football game. However, right now, what do they got the spread at on this thing?
6.5 Utah
It's at minus 4.5 is what I'm
Yeah, it's
looking at on
dropping. Yeah, it dropped to
ESPN.
dropping.
4.5. Yeah,
So that could be probably closer to like what 2.5 come game
right.
time.
Field
And
goal
hell,
game. Yeah,
but what's the rules though? Don't you get 2.5 for home field right off the bat?
yeah, yeah.
So we just gonna roll from there. I got this one. It's gonna be a tough game for certain, but Florida's gonna pull it out. What do you got, Corey?
I got Utah, man. I like Utah in this spot. They're something like 25-1 in their last 26 home games.
Okay.
They actually play really good defense in today's age in football, with all the spread and stuff going around. So I like Utah to pull this one out, even without their quarterback, bro. I'm just not
Wow.
impressed with Florida. They're a young team. They struggled at the end of last year. Napier's got a lot to prove this year, bro. Because if I can remember right, I know that this is last year, but they lost to Vanderbilt. They lost some games last year with a top 5 quarterback that you was just – I mean, the quarterback Richardson was a top 5 pick, and you just would not have thought that they'd have lost some of the games they lost last year. And so they're breaking in a new guy at quarterback. Give me the Utes, bro.
Okay.
Hey, Vanderbilt's a respectable program.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah,
If
man.
you say so,
Yeah.
Coach.
Hey, as far as the classroom they are, you're absolutely right. As far as the
Oh yeah.
classroom.
Oh
They
yeah.
got a great
After-
baseball team.
on
All
that-
academic. Yeah.
I can dig it. So this next one that I wanted to touch on here, we got Colorado and we got TCU.
Mm.
This one, when you're looking at it just on paper, I think I'm not saying Dion's not going to turn this thing around over there at Colorado. I'm really not. But first year, I mean, let's stop and just think about this. He took over what, a 1-11 football team. I mean,
That's
I don't care transfer portal, everything else. I do think though that what's the quarterback? Is it Shador Sanders?
Shador, yeah.
Shador. I think he's a sleeper. I think that he's a very, very good quarterback, and I think he could have went to a lot of other colleges. You might know a little bit more about this than we do on this one, Boog, but I'm telling you, man, Travis Hunter, Cormani McClain. I mean, they got some dudes over there, Colorado. I just don't think they have enough dudes and enough depth. Give me TCU in this game. I'm picking TCU to win this football game. It's at Fort Worth. I mean, that Fort Worth, that TCU Home Frog Stadium, that can be a very loud environment to go pull up into as a visiting team, even though it's not the biggest stadium. But I'm telling you, those TCU Christian fans, they love them some TCU Horned Frogs football, and they're out there gigging it up. So
Yeah.
how you see this one going, Bug?
Man, I wish I could agree with you. I want Prime to succeed so bad, but I just don't see a way Colorado stays even remotely close. I got TCU in this one. One of the first guys I did a Spaces interview with was my guy Cordell Russell, C5. He's at TCU now, 6'4" freshman receiver. He's
Okay.
actually starting. So I just don't see a way Carmani could match up with this kid, just athletically, physically. There's just a lot of different areas I don't see those freshmen in Colorado being ready for even the freshmen at Florida. Never mind the transfers like JoJo Earl and Jake Beck they brought in from LSU. I think TCU is a way talented, better talented team. I don't see Colorado winning more than 3 games this year, and I think this first game will be a good testament to that.
I'm with you. What do you got, Corey?
Man, I'm right there with y'all. Horned Frogs all the way. They're 20 and a half. The line is 20 and a half, bro.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm excited to see what Chandler Morris does, the transfer from Oklahoma. I mean, he got hurt last year. Max Duggan took the spot and just didn't give it back and had an all-worldly year. But I'm excited to see what Chandler Morris is going to do. I mean, I'm a diehard Sooner fan, but it's no hate or no shade to anybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it damn sure ain't no shade to a guy that committed to us at one time, just didn't get to see the field because of the talent ahead of him. So no hate there, man. I'm excited.
I think they got John Paul Richardson too, who was like one of my sneaky favorite receivers from Oklahoma State last year. I think he's on that roster too now, right?
Yes, at TC. Their receiver is loaded.
Yeah, bro. Loaded. So like, come on, man.
Shout out to Malcolm Kelly, man.
B Hill, and you mentioned Shedeur. If I can remember correctly, before Deion left and he went to Jackson State, Shedeur was committed to FAU and Willie Taggart. So I'm not so sure.
Okay.
Country.
Okay. I stand corrected there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, he definitely he balled though, but Jackson State, when we're talking about the HBCU going to the Power 5, I mean that's just it's night and day different.
I think there'll be some adjustment periods for him, man. This game's a lot faster than it was at Jackson State, and he'll get to see that versus TCU in that 3-3-5.
And the Pac-12 ain't nothing to sleep on, in my opinion, man. The conference ain't gonna be no more, but I mean when you're sitting there and you're looking at Utah, you got USC. You got Oregon State. Do not sleep on Oregon State either. They're kind of one of those.
Oh, and got to shout out my boy Samples at Arizona State, man. Kenny Dillingham, man. We're coming.
All love. I love it.
That Pac-12 is gonna be deep.
So you kind of yesterday in the Twitter space you were kind of talking about. You said, I'm not necessarily a fan of the team as much as you're just a fan of all these coaches. You're a fan of some of these players that you know, things like that. So, man, I respect the hell out of that, bro, because in all them spaces, Coley Cole, all them, man, they're wild up in there.
Yeah,
man.
they're wild, and it's actually pretty crazy because my sister actually graduated from OU with her master's. So even back in my high school days, I was coming to Norman, visiting games. I can remember watching A&M, Ryan Tannehill come down to Norman and take a L. That was one of my favorite moments in Norman. And actually, my dream school was Oklahoma State. I was actually supposed to go to Oklahoma State because me and Rashad Samples were best friends. And, pretty much I took a visit to the spring game. Josh Stewart hosted me. And I ended up bringing some gear back. And Samples saw it and he let me know, like, hey, that's one of the schools I'm thinking about going to. I'm like, man, you kidding me?
Yeah.
It just so happens a year later he commits. So yeah, man, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma pretty close to home.
That's what's up, man.
Corey, give this man a little background of what you got going. You see that Detroit Lions helmet? That's not.
I see that.
that's not a fandom helmet, my guy. That was his helmet.
Yeah.
You see him on the poster behind you there.
Man.
I mean, this guy.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Tell him about it. Tell him about it, Corey.
Yeah, man. I spent 6 years there. 2 years I played with the Indianapolis Colts as well. So I got 8 years in the league, man. But that 6 years in Detroit was pretty special, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. It was the best job I ever had in my life, without a doubt, man. So, yeah, getting 8 years in the NFL has been special, bro. It's just countless stories, the memories, the experience, so valuable, bro. I can't even begin to explain like what it's done for my life, bro. But just love football, man, and very blessed to have played in the NFL for sure.
Yeah, now you get to coach, man. I heard him say earlier, coaching high school ball, man, it's nothing like it. And
Yep.
Shout out
It
to
re-
Yep.
the good people like you out there actually impacting the kids. I told you earlier, I just picked up the coach of Monica, but I hope to one day inspire kids, lead kids, and because I know what the game of football can do for just any inner city kids and youth in general. So man, shout out to you, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Hey,
Likewise.
I had to throw this up here. This man Matt is always a long stay in the community.
Facts,
FSU should have lost to a bad OU
facts.
team. OU had a third string O line, and FSU had nobody missing in that bowl game. So that's probably just a little bit of shade towards the pick that I had earlier. Whenever I picked them to beat LSU, it's kind of making me think a little bit different now. Whenever I think back to that, but I mean, it is like you said, it's facts. Let's kind of talk a little OU football here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll let you go for the night, man. We just do some quick little recap shows. OU, right? They released the depth chart. They had the running back was the biggest you see what I'm saying? That was the biggest topic. They had Marcus Major and they had Tyree Walker as the starter. It was 1-1. And Gavin Sawchuk and Javante Barnes were third and fourth string.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to last like that, though. I don't think that's lasting. I see at the end of the year, you're going to have a Sawchuk, Javante Barnes doublehead. But if Marcus Major can come in there and do what he's capable of doing, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. For it. What do y'all say?
You want to tackle it first, Corey? Or you want me to hit
Nah, you got it, Top. Go ahead.
Hey, man, so this right here is a classic Brent Venables move. This is the kind of thing why I'm such a Brent Venables fan. This is him showing the team, hey, work. Put in the work and the effort, and you'll be rewarded. Of course, we all agree that Sawchuk and Javante Barnes are probably the two most talented backs in the room. But like he even alluded to yesterday, like, being hurt, knick-knack injuries, being in and out of the lineup, being in and out of practice, those kind of things hurt the team, and that's not what he's looking for in the starting running back. So I like him rewarding the guy and Tyree Walker, JUCO kid, right? Transferred in, so him coming in, being able to show them how it should look, and I just like the way Brent Venables runs the room. I don't think it'll last like that, but it's a good starting point and teaching moment for these kids, and hopefully, like we all expect, they respond the right way and go get their carries.
Hey, go! I'm not hating at all. I would love to see Marcus Major go out there and ball. I've been waiting for it. What do you got, Corey?
I want to talk about the cheetah position. A lot of people were saying Deshaun McCullough was going to be the guy, right? Or am I wrong? And then Justin Harrington came in on top on that battle. Are y'all surprised by that, or is that something that y'all?
I'm not.
I'm very surprised.
Corey, really? we've had Justin Harrington on this show before.
Yeah, I know.
We've had him on this show. I'm telling you, that man, Justin Harrington, he's a fifth-year senior. It's his redshirt year. That guy, whenever you want to talk about somebody getting it out the mud and rising up above everything that he's faced in his life, like he had to come from JUCO. He came to OU. He left the team after Lincoln Riley and all that happened. Came back, had to walk on to earn a scholarship back. Wow. Has done nothing but absolutely shown out and do his thing in offseason. And like you just said a little bit ago, Boog, that's Brent Venables, man, rewarding the guys that are there. You see what it's been talk all offseason. He's been the one in Deshaun McCullough's ear. They've been kind of like a 1A, 1B type of thing.
Right.
He's been in his ear. He's been teaching him. I do believe, though, that's my guy, Justin. Everything out. Justin, if you see this show, I'm sorry, my guy. But I do see Deshaun McCullough kind of breaking away and being the full-time starter come middle of the season whenever he gets his system down more. What do you say?
I totally agree, man. First of all, I went to the spring game, and number one was just amazing. He flies around, he makes tackles. I just didn't envision a scenario where, Justin Harrington would take that spot. So shout out to Justin Harrington for even, making it a competition. Right. Again, like you said, man, just, the kind of culture you want to instill, and Harrington being the older guy and the, veteran in the situation. I like the move. gives McCullough time to kind of adjust, and they're able to move him around. Let him rush the passer. Maybe have some packages where they're both on the field together.
Right.
So, I like the move. Like you said, man, hopefully Justin can hold him off, but I think Deshaun's a talented kid, and he should take over that spot eventually sometime this season.
Hey, it's good. It's called competitive depth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what they're building there. I mean, this is just looking at the depth chart. I'm like, man, this looks way different than it even did a year ago. So,
oh yeah,
he's been bringing them guys in. What do you think about it, Corey?
Look, I want to go to more of these picks from the depth chart. I'm a little surprised. I'm not the biggest Ethan Downs fan.
Yeah.
I think he's solid, but I'm surprised he's still up there at the top of the depth chart. I thought a Trace Ford, I'm sorry, or somebody else would have kind of took that spot over.
It was Orr. Did you see how on the depth chart?
I'm not seeing the Orr.
There's an Orr. There's definitely an Orr.
So who's the Orr on that side?
I wanted to say, wasn't it Rondell Bothroyd, if I'm not mistaken, was the Orr over there, and then they had Trace Ford. Oh my gosh, who was the other guy on the other side? I'm trying to remember. I want to say R. Mason Thomas was another guy that was coming in too, which I've heard a lot of great things about R. Mason Thomas in camp. I mean, hey.
I think it was Ethan Downs and Ford at the same spot at the end.
Ethan Downs and Ford.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
They also got Reggie Grimes over there too, though. And
I saw
let me pull this.
Trace
Can you share the screen when you get it?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, hang on. Depth chart. Arkansas. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, this will be good. Give me a second here. Let me get this popped up here. We'll get it up on the screen. Okay, everybody see that there?
Oh yeah,
is that too close?
Yeah, back out a little bit.
Let me get on here.
What are you on? Right, it's not showing the actual depth chart though. You still on the page.
Man, me and technology. I apologize. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. We're gonna get on here. Bam. Look here. All right. So no surprise there. I do think though, this guy, Bug, you're big down there. You're big down there in Texas high school football. Everything else, man. Tell the people out there, is he worthy of that 5-star status, and how real of a deal is that guy?
Oh yeah, I'm a big Jackson Arnold fan. I got to catch a couple of his games last year. Really talented kid. He can make every throw, and he's more mobile than a lot of people give him credit. I think he was the best quarterback in the class last year. He's gonna prove it.
Okay, I agree. Hey, you don't become the Gatorade National Player of the Year. And not be good.
Yeah, they don't just hand those out.
No, absolutely not. Okay, we got Marcus Major, Tyree Walker. We already went through that. Tight end, that's another guy that I'm excited about. Austin Stogner coming back into the mix, man. I think that's absolutely big. This guy right here, I've been hearing a lot of good things about Andrell Anthony. He's kind of one of those guys, I think he's in a right system now.
Right.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this stuff. And then you got LV Bunkley Shelton. He's coming over he was a transfer from Arizona State from last year. Jaden Gibson. If that guy can put something together and do something, Jaden Gibson can be special because he's got all the measurables to do it. What else we got here? Oh, I missed this here. Okay, left tackle. Why did they not have the other receivers on here? Because I know on the other side it was Jalil Farouk, and then in the slot they had Drake Stoops, they had Gavin Freeman, and they had Jaquez Petaway.
Yep.
Which we've talked on Spaces before, Bug, about Jaquez Petaway, man. I think I think he's going to be one of those guys, kind of like a Marvin Mims type in his first season, that not at first you're going to see him, but let him get out on that field. let him show some flashes of what he can do, and I think that dude's going to play.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another one, transfer Walter Rouse. Heard very good things about him. I'm very excited about that guy. Savion Bird. I mean, we're just scrolling through here. Let's look here. Right tackle. Okay, here's your slot receivers, like I was saying. You got Jalil Farouk, Nick Anderson, DJ Graham over there at the DJ Graham transferring over from cornerback.
Yep.
That's tough. That's tough, man. Usually you see it go the other way. If a receiver that can't catch the ball, you usually go be a corner. But you don't usually see him coming over from that other side. See, here's the defensive end. You got Rondell Bothroyd. He is a starter. It's Rondell Bothroyd and Ethan Downs.
Okay.
You got Bothroyd, Thomas, and PJ Adebore. Our defensive tackles, you got Jonah Laulu, Jordan Kelly. Nose tackle, we got Isaiah Coe or DeJoun Terry, which me personally, I think DeJoun Terry is going to do big things in Norman. I think he's going to do good things for Oklahoma this year, the transfer out of Tennessee. Hey, Corey, there's your guy, Oklahoma State proud, man. Okie State.
Yep. I'm pulling for Reggie, man. I'm pulling for Reggie to get up in there and make some noise this year.
He will. He will. You just got to get on the field. This is another one right here. I think this dude's going to be an absolute baller. Better watch out. The rest of the country better watch out because Jaron Kanik is one of them dudes, and he's got that starting. Danny Stutzman led the Big 12 in tackles last year. I think he's just going to continue to do. And this cat right here, this freshman, Lewis Carter, I'm excited to see him get on the field because I've heard nothing but good things about him. There's our cheetah. We got Justin Harrington, Deshaun McCullough. This is one that made me excited right there. Gentry Williams.
Oh, yeah.
I think that dude right there is going to do nothing but shine over there, and I think he's going to ball. Strong safety, Billy Bowman, Peyton Bowen. I've heard things. What have you heard about Peyton Bowen, Bug? As far as I've heard, they've been moving him around to many different positions.
Yeah. I saw him a lot in the spring game, playing that deep, kind of free safety. And he probably has some of the best ball skills I think I've seen in the last, decade or so since I've been watching high school football. But yeah, I've heard they moved him around so many different positions, playing slot corner, even the cheetah position and safety. So anyway, you can get that kid on the field, I feel like he'll be an asset. He's a sure tackler, especially at his size. You don't really see that a lot, but he's not afraid to get his nose dirty. And like I said, he plays the ball better than, a lot of safeties I've seen in the game. So yeah, I like him. Even if he doesn't play a lot this year going forward, Peyton Bowen will be one of those guys.
Now they said, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Bug. Peyton Bowen, Eli Bowen, his little brother, they said that he's getting severely slept on. I mean, the dude's like a 3-star right now. He's committed to Oklahoma. What can you say about Eli Bowen, his little brother that's going to be there in 2024?
I can remember. I think it was a playoff game Peyton's senior year where he got hurt. And, a lot of people were kind of sleeping on Eli, didn't know what kind of player he'd be. He kind of stepped up. Since then, his recruitment's taken off. Of course, he committed to the good guys, which I'm appreciative of that. But, yeah, I think Eli is severely underrated, which happens a lot. The little brother always gets thought of to be in the big brother shadows, and he'll get a chance to prove that this year. I'm looking forward to his team making a deep run in the playoffs at Dengar. So, shout out Eli Bowen, man.
What do you know about Reggie Pearson?
Oh man, that's the kid from Texas Tech. The funeral director, I like to call him, man. That kid there, he hits everything. I love him. I love that kid's game. I love his mentality. Even his dad, cool guy. I follow him on Twitter, so we have a lot of interactions over the past, couple months. But yeah, man, Reggie Pearson, I love his game. That's a kid that I hope kind of finds favor with Brent Venables, because just having him on the field, he's a player that opposing players are definitely going to watch him film and kind of highlight where he's at, because all he does is hit. That's all he does.
What do you think about that, Corey? What are you thinking about this depth chart as you're looking at this,
It's
man?
way deeper than it was last year, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It's like you said earlier, just looking at it. I mean, y'all got way more options now. Y'all filled in the holes nicely, bro. I think Venables did his job in the portal, number one, and shoring up some spots. And there's like actual competition. Whenever you can have a or, right? Whenever you got two guys fighting for spots and that's all over your depth chart, that's a good thing because that means competition is always going to be there. Whoever the starter is knows he's not going to be the starter for long if he's not on top of his job. So that's a good thing to have, man.
Hey, I'll be there. I'll be there on Saturday, man. I got my tickets. I'm going to the Arkansas State Oklahoma game, man. I'm gonna be up in there repping hard. I'm going to actually stay this whole game too because I'm excited to see some of them younger players get their chance to play. I can't wait to see Jackson Arnold come on the field. And Bud, call me crazy, man, but I've been on one of these shows. We've talked some Oklahoma football. I think that the week that Jackson Arnold takes over, I could see it in like a week 5 against Iowa State, or or like you know what I mean, one of the first games at home for Oklahoma, Big 12 play. If Dylan Gabriel slacks at all, these fans in Norman ain't gonna give him no slack. I mean, we all seen what happened with Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams, my guy. When the Sooner faithful know that we have a quarterback that's sitting on that bench that can come out there and make something happen. So if I'm Dylan Gabriel, I'm not wishing on another man to do bad, but you better hope Jackson Arnold don't come out there and light it up like 2 or 3 tutties against Arkansas State or anything, man, because it could start looking a little hot for old Dylan Gabriel out there. I might be crazy, but hey,
I think you're a lunatic. I think you should be admitted into some institution because that is the most like. And I'm a Jackson Arnold fan, but I think there's a stat out there. Dylan Gabriel's like 24 or 2,500 yards away from being a top 10 passer all time in the game of college football. So I'm gonna leave a little bit more respect on his name. He's a very accurate passer. You know, injuries just get him. So I feel like
that right there. You just said it. If there's injuries, if he gets injured again and Jackson Arnold gets on that field, I don't think Jackson Arnold's coming off the field, my guy. I just don't.
I might agree with you there, but I think Dylan Gabriel is going to have a great year this year. I think Sooner Faithful is going to learn to appreciate him this year because he's from all reports I've heard, he's been pinpoint accurate. You know, he's moving around well. He's been in the weight room this offseason, so he'll be a little bit more durable, hopefully.
He better.
I'm rooting for him to have a good year. Don't bench him yet.
No, I'm not.
Don't bench him yet.
I'm not, man. But that's 6 and 7 last year. I'm a Sooner diehard, man. We ain't used to that kind of stuff. And you've been in the spaces with the Texas fans, man. They're sitting out here trying to kind of treat us like we little bro out here. I'm tired of it, man. And I hope we go out there and I hope we ball. That's all. That's all I got.
I'm with you.
That's all I got. Corey, what do you got, man? You got anything else you want to touch on?
Nah, that's it, man. That was a good show, bro. I appreciate Coach Top coming on here and chopping it up with us, bro. You always welcome back, my guy.
Absolutely.
Definitely gonna have to check in.
Hey, man, throw this on your Twitter, my guy, if you don't mind. Give us some shout-outs on there, man.
Oh, no, for sure.
We can get some viewers, everything else, because we just trying to grow this thing, man. And as always, hey, I want to give my guy Matt another shout out here, man. This dude right here, you deserve all the shout outs because this dude is an A1 day one on the House Divided channel.
Yeah.
He supports us. He likes damn near every one of our posts that we do on Twitter. I mean, this guy is he's a fan. He's a friend. And man, Matt, we're going to have Matt on the show one day too to talk some OU football, man. That dude loves to talk OU football. So, Matt, if there's any way that you can ever come on the show, bro, you just hit me up. You already know my number. So, as always, Coach Top, I do appreciate you, my brother, for coming on tonight, man. This is the first of many shows. We're going to have to get like you and Reese on here at one time. Do us a little show and do us a little talking back and forth, everything else. I'll be up there this Saturday. I'm meeting up with Reese. So, we're going to have us a few cold ones before the game. Everything else and get it ready.
Oh, look at that. I'm jealous, man. We're gonna have to I'm gonna have to get with my guy Emmett, man. We're gonna get us a little pass together and everybody get together, man. Come, get to know each other. We're gonna have to do that before the year's up. I'm thinking about homecoming for sure versus UCF. The Dylan Gabriel coming out party. We're gonna see that in person.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. No, hey man, like I told you, I'm 2 minutes away from the stadium, bro. You want to come up here? You just hit me, bro. You just hit me up.
I got you. I got you.
But as always, guys, if you haven't already, if you guys are really sitting here and you're watching this 40 minutes in and you have not subscribed to my channel and to Corey's channel, The House Divided over here, shame on y'all. What the hell are y'all doing? Mm-hmm. We're coming with it, guys. This thing is just getting started. Just getting started. So, as always, that's my guy Corey over there. This your boy B Hill right here. It's my guy Coach Top down there. Y'all be good. Peace out, fellas.
Peace.